With Mother's Day drawing near, experts warn Illinoisans to stay alert for payment scams while shopping online for that perfect gift. If you're buying an item from another person, a common scam people may encounter is being asked to pay for an item before it's shipped or delivered, and the seller stopping any form of communication. Those trying to sell items online may also be targeted, with scammers sending too much money for a purchase, then asking for a refund. Once they get the money back, they cancel the original payment, keeping your money and the item. Experts say a good rule of thumb is if something online seems too good to be true, it normally is.
Make sure that the transaction is done in an efficient and honest way that says if you pay for something, don't just cancel the transaction and ask to do it again. Do not simply refund money from your own pocket.